Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something huge, something that hits almost everyone, but maybe especially caregivers.
Yeah.
Carrying that emotional load. Our sources start with this really powerful analogy, like asking someone to run a marathon, but holding back the water.
It's so true, isn't it? We kind of expect this nonstop effort, complex work without building in the actual structures for rest, for self-care.
Yeah.
And the sources, they give us this crucial reframe, burnout. It's not some personal failing, a lack of compassion. It's a system design failure.
That feels really important.
Mm,
System failure, not you failing. That's the ground we need to stand on, right?
exactly.
Because if the system's broken, well, we need a better design. And the sources are saying we can actually use, like, the gold standard of behavioral science applied behavior analysis, that whole antecedent behavior consequence thing, and inward. Use it to kind of structure our own well-being.
Precisely. And that's our mission today. We want to show you how to use something called behavior chaining the sources. Call it the 15-minute rule. Think of it as a shortcut.
Okay.
We're going to stop seeing these massive self-care goals like, oh, I need a break or I have to exercise as these huge, daunting things.
Right, emotionally loaded.
Yeah, and instead turn them into these small, almost automatic wins using, pure behavioral mechanics.
Okay, let's unpack that, starting with why we fail so often. I think everyone listening knows this one. The all or nothing trap.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably the biggest single reason things fall apart, consistency-wise anyway.
Yeah.
This mindset, it basically says, look, if the break isn't like perfect, totally uninterrupted for an hour, or if the workout isn't 45 minutes at the gym,
It doesn't count.
it's not worth doing. Exactly. I can't take a proper break unless I have an hour of total peace, or, well, I can't get to the gym, so I might as well just, doom scroll instead of just walking around the block.
And the why behind avoiding something good for us is, it's fascinating. We think taking a break is just one action, but it's not, is it?
Not at all. It's actually a pretty complex behavior chain. You've got to, get permission maybe, or arrange cover.
Find someone to watch the kids, yeah.
Right. Then physically leave the space, do the thing, come back, readjust. That's easily 5-6 steps right there.
Oh, okay.
So when that chain feels too long, that first thought, the antecedent, just thinking about taking a break, it doesn't trigger feelings of rest. It triggers overwhelm, instantly.
Your brain just calculates the effort involved.
Yeah. It sees this mountain to climb, and the response isn't, let's go. It's, uh-oh, too hard. Shut down, avoid, stay busy. The complexity just kills the intention right there.
So if complexity is the enemy, simplicity has to be the answer, which is where this 15-minute rule comes in. It's built on, 3 basic steps to make self-care automatic.
We're basically swapping out those long, tangled chains for tiny, simple ones, much easier to manage.
Okay, step 1 is task analysis,
Mm-hmm.
but for yourself, for self-care.
Right. So whatever your gap is, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's just 5 minutes of quiet, maybe movement. You take that big, scary goal,
Get more sleep. Yeah,
and you
fine.
break it down
Right.
into a chain of really small, 5 to 15-minute actions. You're deliberately designing little sequences you can actually finish.
Okay, so instead of start journaling, which feels big,
It might be. Step 1, find the pen. Step 2, open the notebook. Step 3, write 1 sentence. Done. Chain complete.
that feels almost doable.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the blueprint. Step 1, what's step 2?
Step 2 is, honestly, it's where the magic happens. It's manipulating the antecedent. We call it the setup cue.
The trigger.
Exactly. This is where you get rid of that mental resistance before it even shows up. You're setting up your environment so the start of the behavior just happens. It cues itself. Friction removed.
Okay, I got to push back a bit here. It sounds, I don't know, almost too simple.
Yeah.
You're telling me if I'm losing the motivation battle, the answer is just putting my shoes somewhere strategic? That feels like a trick.
It feels like a trick, but it's not. It's just smart environmental design. Think about the friction, right? The effort involved in just starting.
Okay.
So you put the walking shoes, maybe the jacket, right by the door the night before. That visual cue, that's your antecedent. You sidestep the whole internal debate of, ugh, do I want to walk? Where are my socks? Is it cold?
Ah, I see. You've made the decision earlier.
You've shifted the energy needed from high effort willpower in the moment
Yeah.
to just a simple response to seeing the shoes.
That makes sense. You take the thinking out of it, make the good choice the easy choice.
Yeah.
Okay, what about de-stressing? That's huge for caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
The sources mention a quiet zone, like a specific chair or corner, just for calm moments.
Mm.
But, for someone listening who's in a small space, maybe constant chaos, is finding a dedicated unused corner even realistic?
That's a really fair question. And the goal of the quiet zone, it isn't necessarily about like buying new furniture or having a big house. It's about the boundary.
A boundary.
Yeah. If a physical chair is impossible, the zone can be, say, auditory. Noise-canceling headphones and maybe a specific blanket on the floor, used only for 5 minutes, or it could be time-based, like the first 5 minutes after the kids are finally asleep. And in that time, no screens. Zero. The key is creating a really clear difference in that space or time. So when the cue happens, putting on the headphones, the clock hitting 9 p.m., your brain instantly goes, ah, rest time. Not, oh, obligation time.
That changes things.
Yeah.
It's not about physical space, it's about the signal.
Yeah.
The boundary. Okay. So we've set the cue. Now, the payoff. Step
Yeah.
3. This is where you said it gets really interesting. Reinforcing the consequence.
Yes.
Because if we mess this up, the whole chain breaks. We actually end up like punishing ourselves for doing the good thing.
Yeah.
This is about positive self-reinforcement.
We really have to get this right. Understand the difference between the wrong consequence and the right consequence. Lots of us, especially, high achievers, we fall into this trap. We use another obligation as the follow-up. And behaviorally, that's punishment.
Okay, stick with the walk example. The 15-minute walk, I finish it, and my immediate thought is, great, walk done. Now I have to clean the bathroom. Or, okay, time to tackle those emails. How is that punishment? Cleaning is productive. Emails need answering.
It's the timing and the association. Your brain needs that immediate hit of satisfaction to link the effort, the walk, with something positive.
Okay.
When you immediately slam it up against a high-effort chore, something you have to do anyway, the brain just sees the walk as, like, the unpleasant entry fee for more work.
So it cancels out any good feeling from the walk itself.
Exactly. It basically teaches your brain, walking leads directly to chores I dislike. So next time the cue appears, the shoes by the door, there's resistance because you remember the unpleasant follow-up.
Got it. Okay. So the right consequence has to be immediate satisfaction.
Yes. Immediate, positive, and ideally exclusive. The source had a great example. I walked one lap, so now I get 10 minutes of my favorite podcast. But crucially, maybe you only listen to that podcast during this reward time.
Okay. Exclusive reward.
It makes it more powerful. So the formula we're building, it's really clear. Action, the walk, leads to small success, finishing the lap, leads to small reward, podcast time, leads to motivation for next time. That reward needs to feel good, happen right away, and create that little dopamine hit that tells your brain, hey, do that first action again.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, eventually maybe you don't even need the podcast treat as much. The feeling of just succeeding, finishing the chain, knowing you guaranteed that little win for yourself.
Yeah.
That becomes the reinforcement.
That is absolutely key, especially for burnout, this whole process. It's how you reverse that feeling of like learned helplessness.
Where you feel like nothing you do makes a difference.
Exactly. When you're overwhelmed, you feel out of control. But by deliberately setting up and completing these tiny chains, again and again, you're literally rebuilding your sense of agency, your sense of control, resilience. You're proving to yourself, hey, I can start and finish things that are good for me.
Okay, so let's recap this for everyone listening. The goal here, it's not about finding an hour for some perfect self-care moment. It's about 15 minutes of effective self-care. We're designing the system, the architecture, not just relying on sheer willpower, which often fails us.
Exactly right. So you define your personal chain, 3 steps. 1, task analysis, break it down. 3 small steps, 15 minutes max total. 2, set the antecedent, clear cue. Shoes by the door, alarm, quiet zone boundary. 3, identify that reinforcer. What's the immediate small reward, something you'll actually enjoy linked only to this success?
But, okay, the inevitable question comes up. Someone's listening thinking, my life is pure chaos. I genuinely cannot find 15 free minutes, not even close. What then?
If 15 feels impossible, the sources are very clear. Start with 5, just 5 minutes.
5, really?
Yes, because here's the crucial insight for building momentum. Your brain cares about completion, not duration.
Okay. Finishing matters more than how long it took.
Exactly. Finishing even one tiny 5-minute microchain. That registers as a win. It shifts your internal narrative from, ugh, I failed to take a break again, to, hey, I actually did that 5-minute thing I planned. That success, however small, builds the momentum you need to try again tomorrow.
Okay, that's powerful. Completion, not duration. And what if? What if you set up the perfect cue? The shoes are there, the quiet corner is ready, and then life just steamrolls you and you completely forget about it. The cue doesn't even register.
Yeah, that happens. Life gets noisy. So we lean on assists, environmental aids, routine aids,
Like,
sticky notes. Put one right where you'll see it at the crucial time. Set alarms on your phone, recurring ones. Or, and this is maybe the most powerful, use paired routines.
piggybacking, right?
Exactly. You anchor the new thing you want to do onto something you already do, something that's non-negotiable. Like, after I take my morning meds, which I have to do,
Right.
right, rollado, I immediately start my 5-minute walk, the new habit.
You connect the new behavior to an existing solid routine. Makes sense. Less chance of it falling through the cracks.
Much less. The old routine acts as the trigger for the new one.
And look, this isn't just, feel-good advice. There's actual research backing this approach.
Oh, absolutely. The data shows these kinds of techniques, behavior chaining, manipulating cues, reinforcement, they really do improve how consistently people manage self-care. And they lower stress over time. Why? Because they manage the cognitive load.
They make it easier to do the thing.
Right. Those small, successful chains, they are the proven behavioral building blocks of resilience. It's science.
That's such a great way to put it. So the big shift for everyone listening, stop battling for these huge, perfect, overwhelming self-care moments. Instead, focus on designing these easy little chains. Get the cue right, make the steps tiny, and give yourself that immediate small reward. You're shifting the burden from fragile willpower to smart design.
Architectural design for your well-being. And that brings us to a final thought for you to maybe chew on. We know from the sources that the brain prioritizes completion over almost anything else. Finishing feels good. It builds momentum.
Right.
So if you can get that momentum just by finishing a tiny 5-minute chain, forget self-care for a second. Think about your general to-do list. Is there one massive item on there that feels overwhelming?
Oh, yeah. Always.
Could you strategically break that down? Not to finish the whole thing, but just to identify a single guaranteed 5-minute win within it. Something you could do just for the feeling of ticking something off. Think small, think immediate, think guaranteed finish. Experience the power of that completed chain.
That's a fantastic challenge. Thank you so much for sharing these sources and walking us through this. Hopefully this gives everyone listening a practical framework to start chaining their way to feeling a bit better.
Hope so. It's all about those small wins.